Inspiration, writer. Whoever the fuck that is. Let's turn it into an anime now, I could live with this. Anonymous 22, Aura, and some other people. Editing, Kagami, Lost People. No, people more. Blue 123. There we go. He's the main writer for this, as far as I see it. Because, you know, Blue 123 and all. I'm not gonna read all of these beginning, like, credits. Mike and Neil, you're the last one. Because your name is cool. I should move my mouse. Go on Delta Engineering on your own. Hurry up. I'm gonna be so annoying through this, and I feel bad for anyone watching this, because I know as hell I ain't watching this back. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. You legit had a heart attack? Like, what the fuck? And the whole time I can probably count the times I've left the hospital room unsupervised on one hand. Why would you do that? 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts, so I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Go asks you out, you faint, you have a heart attack, you nearly die. That's called not being at terms with your situation. I feel bad now. A strange word, a foreign alien one that you don't want to be in the same room with. Why is that? Oh, it's a condition. I see. A rare condition, it causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. I noticed. Apparently I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. Oh, like the Halo map, I get it. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything to them. It was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Never know. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. I see. This guy should write a book. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. Aww. I'll send you gifts, buddy. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had turned into a class project. Oh, burn. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came on a regular basis. Iwanaka was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on a snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes them feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but he told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left in my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of an omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library in the hospital. Even though it was more of a storeroom for books, I began working my way through it one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. Don't fucking eat them. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I loved the stories. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other. differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass, and I was trapped inside instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause and realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. I know that feel, bro. Feels like ink. Ugh, pardon me. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside just to lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But what happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Oh. Brightened up a bit. I like this. Today the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here, and it's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. There is this ritual the head cardiologist has. He would take his time sorting his papers and setting them aside as if it would make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, Hasio. How are you today? Sound like a fucking right legit doctor to me. I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be fine.